Well, at that point, I reckon it's a good time to move on. Our next member is Nobby, G0VJG. So it's over to you.
Hi, I'm Nobby, G0 Victor Juliet Golf. Very jolly giant. This is my humble shack. My main radio is the FT 1000 Mike Papa, which drives 100 watts on 0 to 30 megs, all the HF bands. This is my humble computer with a blown screen, doesn't work. That's why I'm using the additional screen, which I use for logging. And also this is a CW program that's running at the moment, which currently isn't doing anything, but to help me with my CW, which is very poor. Also I have a linear for HF, but unfortunately I managed to blow it up last week, so it isn't actually functional at the moment. It's got to go in for repair. Yeah, I always use a Heil microphone because I find them quite comfortable, quite easy to use, and of course it gives you sort of your hands free to do anything else that takes your fancy, like eating, drinking, etc. And I run 4 antennas. I have a G5RV up full size. I have a homemade sloper up for 10, 12 and 15. And I have a vertical up that isn't particularly functional because it's stuffed in a corner. You might get to see that later. And I also have a quad in the loft, sorry, not a quad, a cobweb in the loft. Although it's not working as well as I'd like in the loft, but it is semi-useful. I'll let Paul get a quick shot of it in a minute. So here, which is the Alinco DX70TH, which is the same as the club's one, which is just for a backup really.
So this is your log, is it?
Yeah, I'm using XM log.
Yeah.
Which I find fairly good. Ralph put me onto this one, and it's I think it's free from the RSGB website. I'm not sure when it gets round to it. Sometime today would be nice.
Right.
I've got 239 countries worked.
Right.
217 confirmed.
Yeah.
And my best band I think is 20 with 184 countries worked and 117 confirmed. And I've got 17 worked on CW now, so I'm gradually trying to bring that up a bit. And I've got 8 countries worked on RTTY, so I'm not very big on that, but if you notice, I was quite pleased with that. I've got 801 band countries on HF.
Very good.
That's over about 10 years, of course, of on-off operating, but that's my logging program anyway. Nothing too fancy, but does me. CW. Okay, and I'll give you a quick tour of the antenna systems. Well, they're not a bit humble, not very good, but you can have a quick look at my antennas. So this antenna looks good, but works crap at the moment. So, cobweb.
Well, this is a cobweb.
Last I heard, there was over 500 been made so far. They work pretty well. They're pretty good all round omnidirectional. A little bit different. You know, if you couldn't have an antenna up, you could do with that. Do you know what I mean? But I don't like making do really.
Right.
Yeah, so that was my cobweb, and I say it doesn't work as well in a loft as it did outside. It was really good outside, but for a compromise, you know, poked out the way there, no one can see it, and it still gets out on the air. But they definitely do like to be outside. I'm going to Dominican Republic in 4 weeks' time, and I'm going to take that wire sloper that I'm going to show you in a minute up there, which does 4 bands. I'm also going to take my telescopic rotary dipoles, which I took to Turkey, and they work really well. Worked about 8 club members. In my little basket of tricks here, these are portable antennas. These are the 80 metre traps. For instance, what you do, you have traps for each band. It tells you on there which band that's for. That's for 20. And basically you just unscrew these, screw these in here like so. And then you have like a T connector of sorts. I've got two of these, but this is just the one that's come to hand.
Yeah.
This one is like an inverted V type connector, and it comes with like a little like a little stand. So this one's for 80. I mean, you know what sort of size antenna you need for 80.
Yeah.
And you can see the configuration of it. It's just a repeat of that side I put up, and that will resonate a signal on 80 metres. May not be the most efficient in the world. It has a little about 2 foot alley pole, which I don't know where it is at this very second.
Yeah.
And I've got some damage to this one because it's, although it's small, it's a bit fragile. I've got to get a new tip. I'm going to get that for a go. But basically, there's 2 screws in there. They screw on a pole, and these are balcony clips. And you just clip these on your balcony like so, and the pole will turn. So you'll then got directivity as well. So then basically gives you a very, very small portable antenna. So I worked 8 club members from Turkey with that, with 50 or 100 watts
And
on the balcony. You have to bit of messing about. You have to unscrew these,
yes.
and then you replace them with the appropriate bands. This one is for 40, this one is for 20. So you just change the length of the coils here basically. And I've got 5 bands I can use. And then you can adjust the SWR just by moving these in slightly. I found that on a couple of bands I had to just mess about to get a better tune. Yeah, so I've just got a 2 metre rig here, with spare rotors when I get the beam up, and plenty of this stuff, coax. These are some of the wires we made up for SSB field day. Although this one didn't really work, it let us down. We've got to have a look at that, find out what's the matter with it. And this is my 6 metre beam, which is redundant till next VHF field day, I guess. This is part of my 17 element tonner.
Oh.
I think, no, that's the 6 metre beam. I think the tonner's under the garage. But yeah, I've got antennas poked everywhere. I've got my full size quad under the shed up there. So you know, I've got antennas everywhere really. Bit of an antenna hogger.
Right, you're going to show us what you got outside then?
Well, up here I've got a homebrew, what do they call that? Wire configuration. It consists of 4 pieces of wire. It's designed to work on 12 and 17, but it works really well also on 15 and 20, believe it or not. And then just some little pieces of wire. So it's just a bit of wire from a boot sale for £1, and a T connector and a bit of coax. So it costs absolute pence. And you know, I spoke to America on it only a couple of days ago for a long, clear QSO all the way to States. So
Let's have a look, pulley.
That's on a pulley, yeah, so I can pull it up now. I don't want to mess about it because it's all tied off. But the G5 RV full size is on the top, 102 feet of hard drawn copper wire with ladder line feeder, 350 ohm. That's from a shop, that's a shop bought one. And I say then I've got that little inverted, homemade little inverted V underneath. So what's this for?
Well, you got here then.
That's a 9-band Titan DX by GAP from Florida. But it also tunes they boast on 6 metres and 2 metres to some degree. And it'll say it'll work on 80, 40, 20, all the HF bands. Some better than others.